Hi everyone, it's Lynn from Hey Lynn Vintage, and today is Retro Cooking Wednesday. So we are doing Miss Bernard Kanago, K-A-N-A-G-O, Kanago, her My Inspiration Cake. There's so many recipes out on this cake. The actual Pillsbury website has, you make the cake yourself. But I grabbed this book from, I think it's like 2000 maybe. Let's check the copyright here. 2004. And it has the My Inspiration Cake in here, but they've used a cake mix. So in the description, I will put both. I didn't use the cake mix because I kind of wanted to stay more towards the original. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel, for being here and everything like that. Sorry, this is probably going to go up a little late. We will still try and get it up on Wednesday. Just a lot of family stuff going on. But with that being said, let's get to that ingredient table. So the ingredients for My Inspiration Cake is going to be 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 1/2 cups of sugar. In this bowl, we have 4 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We will need a teaspoon of vanilla, 4 egg whites. I've already got those separated. 2/3 cup of shortening. You could, I'm sure, use butter. 1 1/4 cup of milk. So in our 9-inch pans, we are going to, butter and flour them. And then we're going to sprinkle these pecans. So a cup of chopped pecans in the bottom of each of our pan. And then we also need 2 ounces of grated chocolate. It said semi-sweet. I had some small 1-ounce bars, so I just used my microplaner to make sure that I grated those. This is going to go like you're going to put a 1/4 amount of your cake mix in your pan and then sprinkle this so that it has like a layer in the middle. So let's get our cake mix done, and then we'll do the frosting when it's being cooled. So the recipe just kind of says put all the ingredients into your mixer, mix it all but your pecans, the chocolate, and the egg whites. So in here I have our shortening and our sugar. It's just a habit of mine to cream those two together. I was going to then add our vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla in here. It did not have any way to do it, so we're just going with what we know. I did put my baking powder and my salt right into my flour. I'm going to probably do like a little bit of milk and a little bit of flour, alternating it to get it combined. And some more milk. I put the rest of the milk in there. Let's get the rest of the flour in. And then we'll get it all beaten together. So all of our ingredients are in here. We are going to beat this for 1 1/2 minutes. And then we are going to add our egg whites. All right, let's add our egg whites. And we're going to beat this for 1.5 minutes. So I have the pecans. I kind of put them in the center of our pans. I only have 8-inch pans. So it seems that like the pecans are supposed to be in the center. So I am just gonna try and lightly put some of this cake mix on top as to not really move the pecans at first. And then we're gonna fill it a quarter of the way. And then we're going to sprinkle the chocolate in here on both, the same on both. So let's just kind of get that in there lightly. And then we'll get our chocolate in. All right, so the one part of the cake is in, and then we are just going to sprinkle this chocolate on there. And then we're going to put the rest of the cake mix on top of this. Okay, we have our chocolate layered on both. So pecans, cake mix, chocolate. And then we're going to put the rest of the cake mix on top of here. I'm just going to try and spoon it on and get it all leveled off. Okay, well, we've got our cake, well, the chocolate on the cake covered. We're going to put this on our preheated 350-degree oven for 30 to 40 minutes until our toothpick comes out clean. So the ingredients that we're going to use for our frosting, we're going to make 2 types of vanilla and a chocolate. So in a saucepan, they want us to melt 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate with a 1/2 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of water. And then we also need to do, for just the frosting itself, a 1/2 cup of shortening or butter. So I have a 1/2 cup of butter, 2 1/4 cups of confectionery sugar, powdered sugar. And then we also need a teaspoon of vanilla. And it says to have like 1 or 2 teaspoons of water on hand in case you got to thin it down. So let's get this melted and then we'll get our other stuff beaten together. Okay, to make our chocolate part, we've got our 2 ounces of chocolate and 1/2 cup of sugar in our saucepan. We are going to add a 1/4 cup of water, and we are going to stir this on low heat until it is all melted. We'll come back when that is all melted. It won't take long at all. And look, the cakes are out of the oven. They look great. So in here we have our 1/2 cup of butter, a teaspoon of vanilla, and we are slowly going to add our powdered sugar to this to whip it up. Let's get it started for our frosting. So that butter has been sitting out. We're just going to beat this, and then we are going to start to add powdered sugar, 2 cups of powdered sugar to this. So let's start to add some of our powdered sugar. We might have to scrape those sides down. So most of the powdered sugar is in here. Let's get this last bit mixed in. We've just been scraping down the sides and making sure that we get all the powdered sugar in the 2 cups. There's a 1/4 cup that we are adding at the end. All right, that looks pretty good, mixed up. Let's get that chocolate in. Okay, so to the frosting, we're supposed to save 1/3 cup, and then we're going to add that chocolate mixture and our other 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and we're going to whip this together. Let's get it on. Of course, we're gonna have to scrape those sides down and get this all blended together nicely. All right, we're gonna assemble our cake. It said to put this pecan side up. So remember, the pecans were in the bottom of the pan. So we're going to add a little bit of chocolate frosting on here and get that frosted. And then put our other layer on. So I'll come back when that's nice and frosted with our chocolate frosting. All right. Nice chocolate layer on. Let's get our other layer on. All right, well, we got our chocolate frosting on. I just added the little bit of white frosting into a baggie. I did add a little bit of water to it just to make it a little bit more squeezable. We're going to put a little design on the top. All right, well, I just did some dollops of the white and put some pecans on it. Don't think it looks too shabby. Let's see what it tastes like. Wow, you can see all those layers. Look at it on the cake. Looks good. Okay, thoughts on my inspiration cake. You know, I have to say, every week these recipes get better and better. So while it was, it was a little bit of work. Probably doing it with the cake mix, like they have in this book. This is the Best of Bake Off cookbook here. And these, you know, they have like kind of updated the recipes a little bit in this book. But using, so basically you'd just be cutting out, making the cake, but you would add like the pecans and all that. It was actually kind of cool how the pecans were in the center of the cake and then the layers of the chocolate. It does have a really good chocolate flavor to it. It was a little bit of work, but if you put the cake mix in, you would probably cut that in half. And it looked nice. It looked nice making the frosting. You probably wouldn't, you could probably just even use canned frosting for that matter and just, you know, leave that little piece in the center unfrosted where all your pecans are and even layer that cake mix with the shaved chocolate. And I bet you it would still be really, really good. It was a good cake. Like I said, a little time consuming, but it was really good. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, you guys. Thank you guys so much for helping my channel grow. I can't even thank you enough. So you guys are all my inspiration. So with that being said, stay retro, my friends. Next week, we are doing, oh, look at this. We are already on week 6, the Pillsbury's 6th Grand National, and it's going to be Miss Bernard Cotine Open Sesame Pie. I think that's what's on the front there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Can't wait to try that. I think it's got some dates in it or whatever. So that should be pretty interesting to have that next week. So stay retro until then. See you soon. Bye, everyone.